The back room of the downtown currency exchange was empty, and I mean empty. The only light came from a single dim desk lamp. It illuminated the folding chair I sat upon. In front of me, on the desk, was a mountain of security monitors. The scenery was completely contrary to the mountains of intercontinental cash I'd imagined when Dagmar, the exotic proprietor, had led me into the room only moments earlier. What difference did it make, though? It was by divine intervention that had brought me here, with these 3 bricks of gold in my pocket, when mere weeks ago I was in deep with my bookie, Mike Brodka. So deep there were few viable options other than packing my shit and relocating. But by some twist of fate, one afternoon at the Burger King, after I'd just finished burying my sorrows in a Whopper, I noticed a black car pull up to the plastic garbage can outside, drop a paper bag inside, and speed off. Nothing to lose, I thought, and sauntered out to take a look-see. Black tar heroin, 50 little capsules neatly packed into a crinkled paper sack. I knew it would be dicey, but also easy to unload the junk for a fat roll of cash. Enough at least to get me out of the red with Mike. He could never deny his love for my unique bets. He always loved seeing me make a spectacle or an ass of myself at the Night Owl Tavern. I possessed a keen skill for throwing a knife when sober. Luckily, none of the money had gone towards booze, and Brodka seemed to be in a sporting mood. That night at the Night Owl, I was in rare form, a regular fucking William Tell Jr. with that buck knife. For once, everything worked out in my favor, and I walked away with these 3 shiny bricks, even on top of paying Brodka off. Only thing left was to redeem the cash from this odd, yet very agreeable form of payment. According to Mike, this was the very place to do it. All I had to do was slip his name into the introduction. After these thoughts subsided, I couldn't help but wonder what the hell was taking this guy so long. Suddenly, the 3 monitors in front of me flashed off and on dissonantly for about a minute. Transfixed, I stared at them like some faultily wired Salvation Army game of Simon. Then I heard another alien noise emitting from the bottom right monitor, which eerily resembled words. A series of short bursts that sounded like "get out" looped on the screen, still showing snowy static. I rationalized that it must have been my nerves locked in overdrive, running on fumes. This was just some ancient equipment that had not been replaced since the days of the Reaganauts. Then the screen blinked off and returned, showing this very room. At first, I thought that it was a live feed, until I realized that the man in my chair had a seriously receding hairline. Before I could further speculate, the unmistakable figure of Dagmar entered on screen. He nimbly laid out a top behind the chair, then walked around and stood in front of the balding man. Without a twitch of hesitation, Dagmar pulled a snub-nosed revolver from the inner pocket of his coat and shot the balding man dead. As the corpse fell backward onto the top, the monitor switched off, blank as it had been when I'd entered the room. It was then that I saw the full and awful truth. This was merely the tip of the iceberg, a setup to lock me in here. Brodka had only sent me here for one final collection in the form of my deadbeat ass. Panicked, I jumped up and began to scour the room for any form of defense, too preoccupied to hear the door creak open, as Dagmar entered the room, brandishing a blue top.